Hello and welcome to Power Sports. My name is Innocent Mayeng and I'm joined by Mfadzi Ngurwe. How are you doing?
I'm okay, man. And yourself? That's
I'm good. This is Mtokozi Ngulube. How many pigs have you taken care of today?
I just ate pork. I just ate a pork chop in the afternoon. I don't know if it counts as pigs but it's a pork chop, yeah.
Are you allowed to do that? I mean, Ngulube and...
allowed by...
All right, so let's concentrate on sports. Let's start off with some football over the weekend, some beautiful games. Let's skip the Liverpool one. Let's focus more on Arsenal taking on Manchester City. Arsenal choking where it matters the most.
As expected, you know, Arsenal, if ever there was an Oscars for bottling championships, finals, you definitely hand it over to Arsenal. I thought it was going to be this time lucky, but then it's 6 seasons and still counting without a trophy. Mikel Arteta, why start Kepa Arrizabalaga when you've got your best keeper set on the bench? It's a final. I know it's only the Carabao Cup. That's what they're going to say, obviously, to try and come up with excuses. But then we're looking at a team that has gone for 6 seasons without any major honours. I know the league, it's obviously in their control, but I feel if ever there was going to be any need for a confidence boost, Arsenal should have won yesterday.
They can bottle that as well. You know?
You might never put that beyond them. You never know with Arsenal. It depends with which Arsenal team. It's crazy.
But you know what the conversation has always been is that, you know, the Carabao Cup is an opportunity for these coaches to put in those fringe players to keep them happy or satisfied. Pep Guardiola did the same thing. He took off Donnarumma, got in
James Trafford.
Yeah. So... was he wrong to give Arrizabalaga
a start?
A start.
I feel in hindsight it looks like a very bad decision because it has come back to bite him. Kepa is a goalkeeper who has been known in the past to make mistakes, more so in finals. Need I reiterate what he's done in the past for Chelsea? So obviously he was always on thin ice. It's like you're playing on thin ice, and it's difficult. And you're Arsenal, you've gone for 6 years without winning, and I feel managers should not be there to massage players' egos. I know you can say for the players' ego, but then at the end of the day, you're going to be judged on the number of trophies that you've won. And Pep Guardiola won a trophy having benched Donnarumma, and everyone can laud him and say, well done, Pep, kudos to you. And it's the dirty game. It's how it is. If you don't win trophies, obviously, first people coming to you and having an inquest in terms of the lineup that you put out. And I feel Mikel Arteta on the balance of play in hindsight got that one wrong.
Yeah, got it absolutely wrong. Now, if you're wondering what Mtokozi is talking about when he's talking about Kepa, well, you remember that final and it refused to come off.
Sarri in charge of Chelsea.
Sarri was in charge of Chelsea. Refused to come off penalty kicks. Came on and didn't even save a single penalty. And then there was a final against Liverpool. Missed a penalty in the final. Then yesterday, it's just not working out for Kepa. I don't really know if you've got a goalkeeper like that in your books, and you've got a goalkeeper like Raya. Is it not safer to then just say, you know what, Raya, go in? Only when you're injured does Kepa come in.
Yeah, if it's a final, most I understand massaging players' egos is the first round against maybe MK Dons or something like that. He can then say, okay, I'm going to play my fringe players so that they get the match in the game time. But it's a
not
cup
the final.
The final, you have to put out your best 11 there. And James Trafford, I know you can say Pep Guardiola obviously rested Donnarumma, but James Trafford, remember, in the summer was signed as a number 1.
Yes.
And even City let Ederson go away. And they were not so sure at that particular point in time to say they're going to get Donnarumma over the line because Donnarumma had not said he wants to leave PSG. So Trafford came in as a number 1. It's different to Raya. Raya came in as a backup. I'll reference maybe Jose Mourinho won the Europa League with Sergio Romero as he was his substitute goalkeeper. David Raya, undisputed number 1. But Sergio Romero was a World Cup finalist with Argentina. And obviously it's different when you've got someone like Kepa. So I feel it's two contrasting type of backup goalkeepers that those two managers have. And I feel Mikel Arteta did something wrong yesterday.
Yep, let's move away from Arteta. Let's talk about Pep Guardiola, his 5th League Cup and 40th trophy in his managerial career. Absolutely phenomenal there.
He's a genius, Pep Guardiola. He's a genius. But then there are a couple of community shields in there, Spanish Super Cups as well in the 40 titles. But then there's an old saying in football, you only win what's ahead of you. And what was ahead of him yesterday was the Carabao Cup. He did very well. I'm going to pose a question right back to you to say, where do you rate him? Do you rate him above the likes of Ferguson, Jose Mourinho? Or do you think he's the greatest of all time? Also considering the spend, he's one of the managers who spent a lot of money in the years. Would you sort of rate him?
I'm going to be a bit controversial here. Ferguson took average Manchester United side, made it world class with predominantly average players. Whereas if you take a look at Pep Guardiola, yes, fine, you still have to coach those players, but he has always been privy to the best in the world at Bayern Munich, best in the world at Barcelona, best in the world at Manchester City. So yes, he's very successful. I respect him, but to put him in the same box as Jose Mourinho, who took an ordinary Portuguese side to a Champions League title, and then you take a look at the likes of Ferguson, who took Manchester United, no one was talking about, into an absolutely dominant side. Maybe not, but still a very good coach, and sometimes his genius does come back to bite him, but still a very good coach.
Now, to echo the same sentiments, because I feel Pep Guardiola has revolutionized football, and you look at the likes of Dani Alves, for example. Leo Messi invented almost the false nine position, and he came back with the inverted fullbacks, the likes of João Cancelo. You also had Kyle Walker trying to do that as well. John Stones, a hybrid centre-back. So it looks like he is the leader in terms of coming through with new tactics, and everyone almost takes a leaf out of his book. So I think he'll definitely go down as one of the greatest managers. And for the first time, and hopefully the last time this night, I'm siding with you to say Sir Alex Ferguson is the greatest of all time.
Yeah, well, Jurgen Klopp. Right. let's just take a look at some of the results in the English Premiership. I think most Tottenham Hotspur fans will be devastated by that 3-0 defeat at home to Nottingham Forest. Not taking anything away from Nottingham Forest, they've been absolutely awesome in some instances, and then falling off at some instances, but they have managed to pick up some crucial points away from home, especially noting that they also beat Liverpool at home. But then Tottenham Hotspur, you would think that they would win this match, especially after beating Atletico Madrid in the midweek.
Yeah, definitely. On the back of also getting a result at Anfield the previous week in the Premier League, their first points of this season, to come back and lose at home to Nottingham Forest, with all due respect to Forest, by 3 goals to 0. I feel Tottenham, it's been a case of 2 steps forwards and 3 steps backwards, and you don't want to be seeing that if you're Igor Tudor. Obviously, you've taken to the Tottenham fans like a dark text to water in 2026, scoring your first points of the campaign, and I feel they are in a relegation dogfight, like it or not. But then I feel it is actually one of those results you obviously want to get done with it. And the worst thing about it is you get such a loss on the back of an international break. Like it's international break, and
yeah,
you've got
it's 2 weeks to think about it.
Think about it, and after such a defeat, you almost want to certainly get a match and put the wrongs right in the next match in no time. And Tottenham don't have that privilege, I'm afraid.
Yeah, they don't have that privilege. And I don't know what's really going on. Is it the players? It can't be the coaches. They've already fired like 3 coaches, and they're about to fire Tudor as well. What is going wrong with Tottenham Hotspur?
Tottenham, I think it's a combination of factors if you look at it, because they've got a lot of injuries. The likes of Dejan Kulusevski, we've never mentioned them this season. You look at James Maddison, hardly kicked the ball this season. Also lost Harry Kane, and I know they'll say they brought in Dom Solanke. Lost as well Heung-min Son, and I feel it's been a combination of players. Where Tottenham, are they a selling club? Are they a top 6 club?
Yeah, but Tottenham have always been that selling club. Yeah, I remember when Bale left, Modric, and they bought a whole new team. But they were never this Tottenham Hotspur team that is struggling to keep afloat in the English Premiership.
Yeah, it looks like they were ready to dine with the big boys. Remember when they took Liverpool on in the final of the Champions League? You felt Tottenham have arrived, and Tottenham are no longer going to be a selling club. But then it looks like they've almost gone back to the old model, because it had gone for a long time. Remember how Daniel Levy actually waited off interest in Harry Kane. Man United came in looking for him. Chelsea came in some instances, but he was never going to sell. But then it looks like in the end, eventually Harry Kane got his way. So we thought Tottenham are no longer going to be the selling club they were in the past. They were now one of the sides which were ready to dine with Europe's elite, and it was never to be. So I feel that, coupled with that number of injuries and also the change in the stadium, I don't feel the atmosphere at the new stadium is what it was at White Hart Lane. So I felt it almost played into Tottenham's minds. Remember when Arsenal made the move from Highbury to the Emirates, it took some time because Highbury was a fortress. And they went on that incredible, invincible season, and they took some time to get used to surroundings at the Emirates. Maybe that could be playing some part in Tottenham, but it's all excuses. I mean, football has to be played on match day, and you can't be making such excuses when you're losing to teams like Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, well, they'll be playing amongst the big boys in the championship if they're not careful. Let's take a look at a bit of tennis news. Carlos Alcaraz
deliberately leaving out Liverpool. It's fine. We can move to tennis.
I told you from the start.
Yeah,
from the start.
Mentioned.
Arne slot out. Let's talk about tennis news. Carlos Alcaraz being booted out by Korda.
30-second seed.
30-second seed. What's your take?
It doesn't get any worse, does it? I feel with Novak Djokovic pulled out of the tournament, obviously with a shoulder injury, and you thought it was Carlos Alcaraz to win. Obviously, I know Yannick Sinner obviously have had a say in that, but then he started the year on a high, won a career Grand Slam, the youngest tennis player to do that in 22 years and some days, to have won all 4 career Grand Slams. He couldn't have asked for a better way to start the year. And for him to lose to a 30-second seed, I know it's only the Miami Open, but I feel these are some of the matches at the ATPs you're supposed to be winning to say if you want to contend and take down the likes of Djokovic in terms of what they've achieved in their careers. The Nadals, the Federers definitely have to be seeing off a 30-second seed, with all due respect. I feel it's not so good for Carlos Alcaraz. Yeah,
Korda's first victory against Carlos Alcaraz, who started off the year pretty well, 16 without defeat, and now losing to Korda. I guess he's going to pick himself up. But that's a look at sports news here on Power Sports. My name is Enes Manyenga with Mtokozi
Ngulube. Hater, Liverpool hater. Okay,
what team do you support?
Okay, I support my family. Okay, we'll talk about the team next time.
It's Chelsea, isn't it?
No, Man United.
Well, you put me on the screen with a